is how many people did you recognize?
Yeah, if they're all speaks from here, so and there are a couple of people.
Rabbi say it's just such a tremendous nachas to see everyone here. Mamash, I'm coming also tomorrow night. I want to make it clear. Mitzvah Hashem, I'm telling to the. Well, do you have another speaker for tomorrow night? So I think you'll have to. I think you'll have to cancel him. Anyway, Rabbi say it's just a machayat to see you. And coming here doing Ben Azmani Mamash, the Spritz Ben Azmani of Hamoed Pesach, and coming to learn here at nights, it's Dover Nifla Ma'oid. You see all these new faces, Baruch Hashem, of old faces, new faces. It's just a machayat to see you. Okay, Rabbi say, Pershus, the Menahalim, Rabbi Fein, Rabbi Klein, the trustees, and I understand the chiddush of this basis that the trustees are also Bnei Torah. Of course, Rabbi Siegel. So Shamach Rabbi say, the biggest question that we have on the Haggadah is that Moshe Rabbeinu is not mentioned. It's Yadua. That's the biggest kasha that exists. It's a really an amazing question. The Haggadah, which is speaking about Yitzias Mitzrayim, doesn't mention the main player. Just imagine if someone would write a history or a book about the Lubavitcher movement from the 1950 onwards, it will not mention the Lubavitcher Rebbe. I don't know if to say Lahavdil or not Lahavdil, something, part. So what's the shot? Could you imagine writing a book on the Lubavitcher movement without the Lubavitcher Rebbe? Ha'ikar Chosim in HaSefer. So what's the shot here? It's an old kasha. Some answer that it's to bring out that it's not a shaliach. Because Baruch did it himself, ani v'lo malach, ani v'lo saraf, ani v'lo shaliach. And the idea is to show that it was done through HaKadosh Baruch himself. I don't buy that teretz. Because the Torah mentions Moshe Rabbeinu on these parshas numerous times. So the Baal HaGoda is frommer than the Torah. The Torah is Parshas Shmois, Ba'era, Boi, Beshalach, the Parshas that deal with Yitzias Mitzrayim, the name of Moshe Rabbeinu is mentioned over and over again. So Punkt the Baal HaGoda was Choshesh more than the Torah was Choshesh. Elamai will start making chilukim on that. Maybe there's another teretz, which I'm a little bit reluctant to say, but I want to share it with the Olam. Let me ask another question. There's a Kois Chamishi, which the Rishoni Paskin is Rishus. And what is that corresponding to? Which lesson of the Pasuk? Again, the Maral has his own way of learning it, but most Rishonim learn it connected the Pasuk v'lakachti Yisrael, ve'evesi Yisrael. So there's 5 Lashonis in these psukim. 4 are, let's go through the first 4, ve'otzeti, ve'yitzalti, ve'ga'alti, ve'lakachti, and then the 5th one is ve'eveti. Why should it be different than the 5th Lashon than the previous 4? The first 4 are for sure chayva. L'cholades. There's no, and points the pel mitzavtzef. There's kula alma moidu. That the first alba koises, the alba koises are chayva. And they're corresponding to the 4 lashonis of the pasuk. Mamash in that very pasuk it says, Beis Yischem in La'aretz, which is Loshon Chamishis. Here it's Rishus. Lama yigara Loshon Chamishi from the previous 4? If anybody wants to say something, I'm not a lecturer. I'm your friend. You have anything to say, please feel free to say. So Kois Chamishi, if you want to look it up in the Haggadah Shlema of the Menachem Kosher, he has a whole shtick of all the various shittas about Kois Chamishi. But the Ma'aseh we paskin, it's Rishus. The Maral also paskins it's Rishus, even though the Haggadah Shel Pesach, which is a forgery, they says the Maral was very makbid in Kois Chamishi, but it's not emes. Okay, it's different again. It's known it's a forgery. It's not emes. And the Gvuras, and also in the appendix that he has at the end of the Sefer of Guras, which is called Hilchos Pesach B'Ktsara, he says Meferish that Kris Chamishi is Rishus. But why is it? B'meu shoneh. So we said maybe you could say the following. The Maral says this over and over in the Guras and also in the Gu'ari, that Yetzias Mitzrayim is the beginning. It will be followed by Matan Torah and be followed by coming into Eretz Yisrael. It's all one Mahalach. Yetzias Mitzrayim ends in Eretz Yisrael. If you want to look up this Yisoid, they look up the Maral and Guras Hashem Perik Mem. They elaborates on this Nakuda Barchova. And therefore, the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu took us out of Mitzrayim and he took care of us, similarly, he's taking care of us on our journey to Eretz Yisrael. You know, with the Anan and the Man and the Mud Esh, the VIP attitude goes on. The last Makkah was Ani v'lo Malach, Ani v'lo Saraf, Ani v'lo Shaliach, and that Ani v'lo is going to go on till we enter Eretz Yisrael. Yetzias Mitzrayim was done al das to end in Eretz Yisrael. Unfortunately, Kara ma shekara and Chet HaMeraglim made a brutal cut between Yetzias Mitzrayim and entering Eretz Yisrael. Namely, that the people that left Mitzrayim are not the ones who entered Eretz Yisrael. And the ones who entered Eretz Yisrael in the days of Yeshua ben Nun are not the ones who left Mitzrayim. Says the Maral in Netzach Yisrael Perek Ches, if it would have been the same people that left Mitzrayim entering Eretz Yisrael, it would have been Chayvus Oilam, just like Yetzias Mitzrayim would have been Oilam. Also, the Knesset to Eretz Yisrael would have been Oilam. We wouldn't have been here in Northwest London. It would have been one shvung. And just like Yetzias Mitzrayim is Chayvus Oilam, that doesn't change, come what may. Similarly, would have been the Knesset to Eretz Yisrael. But Kara ma shekara, and the Chet HaMeraglim made a chayitz, and those who left Mitzrayim did not enter Eretz Yisrael, and those who entered Yisrael are not the ones who left Mitzrayim. And that split is very painful, and we're paying for it till today. This is the Chuv Bayis Rishon, Chuv Bayis Sheni, and the fact that we're in Galus. It was not done in one shvung. Maybe that's a come that the Hevesi is not mechayev like the four other Lashonas. Because the first four Lashonas are mechayev because they were done, they're focusing on coming out of Mitzrayim, and that happened lock, stock, and barrel with its full power. V'otzeti v'yitzalti v'ga'alti v'lakachti zekara. This happened. The Heveti also happened, but the second generation, and not in the strength that the first four happened. It's less. That's what Chet HaMeraglim caused, that our relationship to Eretz Yisrael is conditional. Our being in Eretz Yisrael, let's be more accurate, is conditional. If we behave the way we should, we'll be there. If not, we won't be there. So that's the Kris Chamishi is Rishus, because it doesn't come across the Lashon of the Heveti like the first four Lashonas. The first four were Miskayim Legamre. The fifth one was also Miskayim, but 40 years later, in the days of Yeshua ben Nun, and not with the bang and the boom that should have been. In Keinim Advarim, if it's true, maybe, and here I want to say it in an Edelkeit, the one person who personifies more than anyone else not entering Eretz Yisrael is whom? Moshe Rabbeinu. Not because Chadrage, a different reason. But the one who personifies more than anyone else, B'meshach Kol HaDoros, is Moshe Rabbeinu. It's Yadua on the Vilna Gaon that he wrote a letter already that he's going home. He said goodbye, he's going to Eretz Yisrael. And after 3 months, for mysterious reasons, he came back. And he just said, Min hashamayim lo notnu li. They didn't allow me to enter Eretz Yisrael. That's what he said. And he's buried till today in Vilna. They say, it's brought down. Why not? Because the Vilna guy was the nitzutz of Moshe Rabbeinu. These are things which I know nothing about. And if Moshe Rabbeinu cannot enter Eretz Yisrael, so the nitzutz of Moshe Rabbeinu could also not enter Eretz Yisrael. Whenever I personally go to Eretz Yisrael and I give them my passport, I'm in. I say, wow, I'm better than Moshe Rabbeinu. I go in and out, Billy Bayot. After these last couple of months, I mamish feel a little bit more Moshe Rabbeinu felt. I have an older mother, Baruch Hashem, who's already 91 years old. I'd love to visit her. I can't. I'm not an Israeli citizen, and I can't come in now. So it's a little bit what Moshe Rabbeinu went through. But the one who personifies not entering Eretz Yisrael is Moshe Rabbeinu. He davened 515 times to enter. And HaKadosh Baruch had to tell him, no, and stop davening. Moshe Rabbeinu's name is omitted from the Haggadah because of this point. If he would have been mentioned and would have been spoken about, like the role that he fulfilled, you would have been a little bit misled to understand that Yetzias Mitzrayim is something on its own, and it does not end in Eretz Yisrael. That it does. And since Moshe Rabbeinu personifies, unfortunately for everyone, for Chol Klal Yisrael, not entering Eretz Yisrael, his name was omitted from Leila Seder because Leila Seder is the journey from Yetzias Mitzrayim to enter Eretz Yisrael. And unfortunately, Moshe Rabbeinu and us were not zeicher to that Moshe should enter. I haven't seen this around, but I did share this with Big Talmidei Chachamim, this idea, and they told me you're allowed to say it. I'm a little bit afraid on my own to say Moshe Rabbeinu didn't enter Eretz Yisrael. He missed. But Rabbi Ernest and David, before the son-in-law told me, it's Yasha. You can say it. So what I say, let's conclude, because Ma'ariv is at 10 o'clock. נכון? כך קבענו. צריכים מאוד להקפיד על Ma'ariv. נכון? Ma'ariv, okay, it's a late night, 100%. I want to wish, first of all of you, that Yetz Hashem, next year, all of us will be in Eretz Yisrael with Moshe Rabbeinu. And in Yetz Hashem, and the repercussions of Chet HaMeraglim will totally be nullified. And we'll be back. Everybody understands we're going to end up there. Everybody sees that's what's all building up to. Eretz Yisrael being the place. You know, Corona was everywhere, and Eretz Yisrael is the country that's the most advanced regarding vaccine. Isn't that Mashu? The whole world suffered from it, and Israel is the one that represented it. Kol hadrachim molichim liYerushalayim. Everything is leading to Yerushalayim. And Yetz Hashem, we're all going to be there hopefully very, very soon. Like we say on the Leila Seder, L'shana haba Yerushalayim Abnuya. Rabbi, I just want to conclude. It's such a pleasure to see all of you. Mamash. It gives me such chizuk. It's recharging batteries. And we should all be zeicher to be together in Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim. Kol tov. I'm saying Kaddish with my hands away. I just want to check.
Beis tomorrow night. Just to remind everyone, tomorrow evening at 9 o'clock.